Hey everyone, Brandon Brotsky from Reach Home Loans, and I want to talk to you about a program that's been very popular lately, Hometown Heroes. It's a down payment assistance program for individuals who work in law enforcement, education, medical field, and many others. Now, what you hear about this program are all the great benefits it has to offer, right? Those are the pros. But what you might not be hearing about are the cons to the program. But before we get to those, let's talk about the pros. 5% toward your down payment and or your closing costs. That's pretty awesome. Capped at $25,000. So if you were to buy a home for $500,000, you can get 5% of that $500,000 to go toward your down payment or your closing costs, or a combination of both, I should say. Now, the biggest pro of this program is if you're someone who really needs those down payment funds and that's what's holding you back from becoming a homeowner, well, this is a great program because this gives you those funds for the down payment. Now, you still need money towards your closing costs, being that this program might not cover all of both, but it's a great way to help you get into a home. But what are the cons to this program, right? We know what the pros are. Well, let's look at those. The biggest thing with this program is this is not free money. This is a down payment assistance program, which means that it's a loan and it does require you to pay it back. It's not forgiven, right? Now, there's zero interest that you have to pay on this loan. That's a pro, but the con is having to pay it back. But when do you have to pay this loan back? Well, you have to pay it back if you refinance the first mortgage, if you no longer occupy the home as your primary residence, meaning you're no longer living in the property, you sell the home, right? You have to pay this back, or you transfer the deed, meaning you transfer ownership, you do a quitclaim deed, whatever the case may be, and you're no longer listed as the only owner on the deed. That requires repayment. Now, it cannot be used to cover any sort of appraisal gap. So if the property appraises for less than your contract price, you can't say, oh, I'm going to utilize Hometown Heroes to cover that difference. It can still go towards your down payment, but the down payment, just like any mortgage, is based upon the lower of the purchase price or the appraised value. So if it underappraises, you're still only going to be able to use this toward the down payment on the appraised value in that case. Now, there are income limits for this program. They're pretty high, so that's a con. However, it's not as big of a con as the others. The interest rates for this program are set by the state of Florida. So I'm talking about the interest rate for the first mortgage because you're not paying any interest on the second mortgage, which is the Hometown Heroes Down Payment Assistance Loan. However, the rates that are set for the first mortgage when you utilize this program are going to be higher than the rates you can get if you were just to go get a traditional conventional or FHA mortgage. On average, they're 3/8 to 0.5% higher across the board. So your payment will be higher with this program. There are also lower debt to income ratio limits than with a regular conventional or FHA mortgage. You're going to be capped, so you can't go quite as high. And what does that mean? It means that you're likely not going to qualify for as high as a purchase price as you would if you were doing a regular conventional or FHA mortgage. Now, there's also minimum credit score requirements for this program, as there are with any loan. However, it's a 640 minimum credit score that's required for this program. Unlike a regular conventional loan where you can go as low as 620, in FHA where most lenders will go down to a 580. So here's the biggest con with this particular program. If and when interest rates drop, because it's likely that they will, you're going to have a very difficult time being able to refinance out of this mortgage. And that's going to be because you owe as much as the home is worth. You need to be able to have enough equity to borrow 95 or 97% of your home's value, paying off the first mortgage, paying off this Hometown Heroes second mortgage, and covering all your settlement costs. So the biggest con is, will you be able to refinance if and when rates do drop in the next 12 or 24 months? Now, if you want more information on this program, or you just want to talk about other options outside of Hometown Heroes that might be beneficial to you, as always, reach out to us directly. You can reach me at 954-478-8366.